Ladies and gentlemen, lovers of war, traders of great renown, I, the strategic Indian, bid you welcome to my channel, where our motto is think, practice thinking. If you like the content, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment, which will greatly help with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Any plan is only as good as its execution. In chapter 11, we hatched a most cunning plan to use the Ostrogoths against the Huns. The Huns, sandwiched between us and the Ostrogoths, would flee the scene with rapid haste. With the Huns out of their reach, the Ostrogoths would then come for the Roman city of Savaria, thinking it is ripe for plunder. We would correct their impetuosity, yet ensure they survive, albeit in a weakened state. This will give the Huns two options. One, to either attack our weakened garrison at Savaria, or two, take out a rival once and for all. They choose option 2, as option 1 would help them win a battle, while option 2 would help them win a war. Like the bright brains who run our banking systems, they took short-term gains with minimal work over long-term benefits with back-breaking endeavors. Savaria will stand, while they spend their movement points eliminating the weakened Ostrogoths for us. We shall then join our two armies and take out the Huns. We won't even bother fighting it in the field, as the emperor has decreed revenge is a dish best served cold. The hunnic king Uldin is to be eliminated with maximum prejudice. Meanwhile, in Domavia, the storm we were fearing since chapter 7 has finally arrived. With the primeval energy of yore, with delusions of grandeur, a pretender state, the Dacians come to destroy Domavia. With the steel fist of thousands of spears against our humble garrison, they expect a walkover. Stick around to watch the greatest mass rout of the series. We start today's episode reveling from our fights against the Viking factions. Two Viking armies crushed, their battered fleets left to hobble back to their inhospitable winter-bitten homelands. Unable to break into our sun-kissed territory, and with an ever-creeping winter wrapping its bony fingers around their necks, dragging them towards a cold-kissed death, with each passing turn, their position becomes more untenable, forcing them into raids each more desperate than the last. Our stronghold at Camalodunum shall stand until the Emperor's promised legions reach out to raise their homelands, either eliminating them or relegating them to piracy like the once mighty Athenians. We shall now wait with bated breath for the old King Uldin of the Huns to oblige us. There, the greatest plan of total war Attila history worked out. Celebrations shall reign in the empire. Children shall be taught verbatim how we turned an impossible situation into a golden opportunity. Minor rebellions shall not shake the Western Roman Empire. If full hordes and empires cannot budge us from our cities. We shall be back after dealing with them shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The emperor has decreed that Uldin, the hunnic king, is to be eliminated with maximum prejudice. No expenses are going to be spared. We'll take up mercenaries even if it's overkill and go after him from two directions. Excellent. We'll go in balanced. There. It's really important to eliminate this horde completely because Savaria was unable to recover, and fighting this fight is pretty hard because with the Hunnic army, we will fight the Huns. We'll definitely fight the Huns. But here I just want him clean gone. We return to our own cities, start healing up because we'll have a lot of troops coming our way. There'll be Bastarnians, Alans we have to worry about. So we'll hire our troops and we will hit the end turn after making sure we have spent all of our money. Alans do not attack. I'm pretty sure they can't see that hidden army near Sirmium, so I don't know why they didn't attack because they should have clear advantage over the garrison alone. Langobards probably still licking their wounds. Geats, great. So Geats move into Belgica, so that army will just raid and be a nuisance, but it won't be able to hire one extra army back in its capital because I am pretty sure they can hire 2 armies and 2 fleets, and that's max they can do. And I can see one of them and one of those fleets are going to go back. Huns, they didn't know what just happened. White Huns, none of our business. Yeah, so they're pretty much still alive and hitting the Sassanid Empire pretty hard. Their vassal states are going to be taken out one by one now. I'm pretty sure Parthia got burnt, one of the cities of Aria got burnt. Abarshar will, yeah, great. So Bastarnians moved in. So that is why it was really important to get the Huns eliminated. Okay, this is very dangerous. The Varanians moved towards Octodorum. We don't have an army, so we'll have to quickly make an army over there and see what we can do. The Markomans sent forward one army because they didn't see our army hiding near Uvanum. So that will be for next turn. Again, I think we'll have cavalry superiority, so that army is going to get hit pretty hard. There comes Seditions. This is what we have been prepping for. We'll try to do a defense like chapter 9. The empire stands like a rock wall. We don't have very many projectiles, but we have enough to take this army out. Right, so we'll start with the grouping. Cavalry is 1 and hidden. Our archers are 2. Our combatant spears will be kept at an angle so that they can take, they can pin the army in place so while taking the projectiles on their shields. We'll keep some reserves which will be put into place as and when. So we couldn't see where their general is, so probably he is still well hidden. We'll have to be very cautious with our projectiles because yeah, we have just 2 cohort units able to throw some projectiles units, only 2 pili that they throw, and we'll throw them point blank at the backs of the army as they are held in place by these combatant spears at an angle. And we have 1 archer unit which has to yeah, do the job because Now they have an overabundance of Limitani border guards and competent SPs. That's how cocky they are. You know, they see that, okay, we have a clear opportunity. Let's just make the most amount of units for the lowest amount of price. That's why they come with Limitani border guards, even not upgraded to competency spears. Our units are still hidden. They don't see our cavalry, so that's good. So I'm just scanning to make sure that they don't pull any surprises, and especially to spot. There their general is over there. Perfect. Let them come in. Their general is coming in last, so we still won't move our horses because they also have a cavalry unit, so he's not on this side. So maybe I'll try to move it. Yeah, so their horses are already inside the city, so they won't be able to come out to charge our horses that easily. And we'll try to move our because both our cavalry boys they can throw 2 or 1 projectiles each, so that can help weaken their generals just a little bit. It's a bit hard to run with cavalry in this city because there are a lot of vineyards, and then our cavalry boys get entrapped in them and they can't move as well, and then charges are much more difficult for them to pull off. Right, so we don't start fighting with our archers yet because the general won't be hit that hard. It's much better if they are fired on in their backs. That is how careful we'll have to be with our ammunition. Their cavalry is trying to find a way inside the stronghold, but they are going to be checked in every direction. So whenever we see that their cavalry is approaching, we immediately put our cohorts into testudo, because our cohorts don't do as well against horses, and if they are out of testudo, that's another headache for them. So we don't want to fight their cavalry with our cavalry. Right, so everybody is moving into our stronghold. They have cavalry superiority still, because we are not going to use our cavalry at this point. So our cohorts were still firing. There we go, we use them to charge. Meanwhile, we start moving our general close so that the morale of our competency spear is maintained. Let's see where their general goes. We move our own cavalry in such a way that it can do a hammer and anvil, although I'm not very optimistic about it. Great. So our archers are positioned now in such a way that they will be able to fire at the back of their general. So that is fortunate, and also they'll be firing from the right hand side of their general. So that's where they don't have their shield. They have their shield on the left hand side. So this is a perfect place to pin our infantry and hold their general in place. I sent one more competency spears over to the right flank so that they can help our competency spear, which is near our general, in case their courage fails them. So this will be a kind of a buffer unit which will be able to be placed on either flanks depending on where the crisis arises. There, our archers have begun to fire. We'll go precision shot because always go precision shot after you see that the firing has begun and you agree with what that arc is and it's ideal. So our reserves are now being put into place because their general is going to be priority number 1. Our cohorts on the right flank are continuing to fire their projectiles, so our cohorts on the right hand side could not do that. So that's a bit unfortunate, but okay, we'll have to live with it. But that's good because a cohort is going to do a much better job against their Limitani and competency spears, and we are bringing in our own competency spears to create a kind of a cocoon and make sure that their general is top priority. We have to take out the general. That's the only way we can win in this fight. We don't have numbers. we can't do very many charges because again they have so much infantry. Even if we do a charge and it's a good hammer and anvil charge, yeah, their infantry will still be able to absorb the shock of that charge from our cavalry, and then it will turn around and start harassing and entangling our own cavalry and slowly destroying and whittling them down. So it's very important that we take out this general. We can already see that the general is not doing very well. They have got a raider cavalry which can do fantastic charges because they can move 50% faster, which gives a great charge. Right, we're going to move in our buffer unit of competency spears. On the right flank, we are engaging their infantry. Right, the competency spear which moved in is not doing that well of a job on the right flank, but it's okay. We have the general pinned in, and our archers are delivering very nice shots. Already 25 people are out. We don't have any units approaching any barricades, so then if they did, then we would have to put our archers, and then that would have done a great amount of killing. So let's go. Here come our raiders. So there you can see they have activated their special ability, which moves them 50% faster. There you can continuously see how much they get entangled in this city, but bang, this is a good charge. This is a good charge. So we charge something which is really further away from the pressure point, which is where the general is. So we can't do that because there is that much infantry superiority that they bring to the fight. So we immediately move our raider cavalry back because yeah, that cannot stay too long with so many spear units in tandem. We pull back. We suffer a few casualties, so that is a disengaging debuff that we get. That while the horses try to run away, they get hit by their infantry. Archers are continuing to fire. One of their competency spears, which came in just before their general moved into combat, has begun to run. So our cohorts are now in direct combat with their general. So we have to move them to attack their general directly, which is fortunate for us. Right now, our competency spear on the right flank, which was not doing as well, is doing much better now because that unit which it charged is not able to perform very well because our cohorts are nearby, our general is nearby. We move our scout equities to the other side. It's basically we are looking for opportunities at this point because their general is still doing an okay job. And we have a limited amount of ammunition. If this ammunition runs out and we are unable to kill their general, then it has to be the cohorts which has to carry the day and take out their general. Units of theirs which are running away are coming back and returning to the fight. We are not going to charge those returning units with our cavalry because they will have their spears up, and then we will get entangled. We'll try to unentangle, and then that will be a gigantic mess. Scout equities move to the other flank, to the left flank. That is a nice flank, a nicer flank because they have far less troops, and we have a tower which is continuously firing and debuffing their infantry. There you can see that their lone unit is trying to come for our raider units, so we move them back. There's no point losing troops to such silly fights. Come on, archers, we need a miracle. So our archers are again doing precision shot. They don't have that many ammunition left, so we really hope to kill their general. That's the only chance we have. There, we got the general. Oh, thank God. Yeah. Now it's going to be a chain route time. We're gonna swing. Our cavalry is going to do a charge. Our archers are going to go to whistling shot and fire shot. So they are going to start taking. They're going to fire one arrow of whistling shot, which is going to give -12 to morale. Their general is out. That's a gigantic moral debuff. And then we're going to fire immediately. There we go. Chain route happening. Chain route time. There we go. Chain route. It's chain route. We're going to switch our archers to fire on the other side. We'll move our cohorts and over to the rampart so that they can throw their projectiles. Their last troops are left. There we go. Chain route. Massive chain route. Look at that. This is people running on Black Friday to get discounts. Yeah, the only discount they're going to get is their numbers getting discounted. Anyways, this has been the Strategic Indian signing out. See you in the next one. Thank you for viewing.